I set a fire to the moon shade. We are just shadows in the cascades of history. Fed it longer than you.
정국이를 써주세요.
성이 다른 종국이를 찾으라고요? 박정국 씨? 제갈 정국 씨?
영어로 뭐라고 부르시면
오케이.
바로 첫 번째.
Your whisper makes me more scared than anything. I was loved and now that love's lost. I know they'll never find us. Way out of mental madness as I feel free in time.
찾았다. JK
In life, we saw the whole lives in time. You reach the
Any.
You probably thumping from this long draw. My twisted body and a bind that you want to breathe. This house is covered by your blood spawn. Don't give a fuck what's taken. I hear there's wars worth making. I just leave in time. Four depths with me, miles apart in life.
정국이도 야 진짜 100개. 어? 100개야.
Lay down our lips, all our mumbles, they are fables. Bind it all up and cast it all out into the light. And I sense all your romance. You are young and you are able. We drop from the sky, fill our lungs to feel alive.
박정국 씨? All that we've known is in harvest smoke. This haze is our enemy. Two facts enfold my heart in stone. Nobody knows when the winter's alive and the forces fall.
Will a silent you bring me home? When the winter's alive and the forces form in me, I'll offset your tomb and pull you from the sea. Porcelain tight, nobody move. These phantoms and wolfish dreams all turn to white with leaded lungs. Can you see the light twisting when the winter's alive and the forces fall? Will a silent you bring me home? When the winter's alive and the forces form in me, I'll offset your tomb and pull you from the sea. And you fall hard apart this morning.
되게 킴.
Drowns you and you fall miles apart. What love will show? When the winter's alive and the forces fall, will a silent you bring me home? When the winter's alive and the forces form in me, I'll offset your tomb and pull you from the sea. When the winter's alive and the forces fall, will a silent you bring me home? When the winter's alive and the forces form in me, I'll offset your tomb and pull you from the sea. From the sea. Fall in me, the light gets born on the rusting green. From the sea, fall in me, you had to walk.
You gave me a shoulder when I needed it. You showed me love when I wasn't feeling it. You helped me fight when I was giving in. And you made me laugh when I was losing it. 'Cause you are the reason why I'm still hanging on. 'Cause you are the reason why my head is still above water. And if I could, I'd get you the moon and give it to you. And if death was coming for you, I'd give my life for you. 'Cause you are the reason why I'm still hanging on. 'Cause you are the reason why my head is still above water. And if I could, I'd get you the moon and give it to you. And if death was coming for you, I'd give my life for you. 'Cause you are oh, you are. Oh, you